Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Path to Play. Today we have a very special episode because it is the annual Christmas parade in the North End. It's hosted by the NEAA, which is the North End Athletic Association. They're a nonprofit here in the Boston North End that has been around for over 60 years. They do tons of great work in the community, allowing kids to play sports from ages 4 all the way up to 15. They do all kinds of sports and are just great for the community overall. Today, we'll be interviewing someone who does a ton of work behind the scenes for them. So we'll be seeing Valentina ask some great questions and get some great answers.
Hi, John. Thank you for joining us on Path to Play.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do for the North End and how long you've been with the North End Athletic Association?
Sure. So I've actually been involved with the North End Athletic Association since I was 5 years old.
Wow.
I was a bat boy.
Oh, my goodness.
One of my, a friend of mine's team, at the time. And I played baseball with the NEAA from when I was 8 years old, all the way up to 15. And then shortly thereafter, a few years later, I got involved with some coaching, and then I coached the Little League team, and from there I became an umpire, and then the director of the Little League.
Nice.
And now for maybe the last 15 years, I've been the sports coordinator. A little bit of a made-up title. We don't really have titles all that much, but I help organize all of the sports programs for the NEAA.
Yeah.
Currently, as you know, as a soccer coach volunteer, right? We just finished soccer.
Yeah, that was awesome.
In November, along with flag football and girls field hockey. And in the springtime, we have lacrosse and baseball.
Wow.
And baseball has kind of been a steadfast program over the years. Soccer is huge now. As you know, we had over 200 kids in soccer.
There was a wait list.
Yeah. And baseball is going strong. And also our lacrosse program is growing. We have over 100 kids in lacrosse.
Wow.
So, my job is I help do all the registrations. I help with the sponsors of the teams. I work with with the various commissioners, Ralph Martignetti with baseball, David Palisso with lacrosse. Soccer, I kind of do it myself with my son, Johnny, who you might see floating around here at some
I
point.
met him. Yeah.
And Leslie Han Wallace and Leah Ferrulo, who do girls field hockey. They're the commissioners. So I work with them to scheduling and field assignments, and I coordinate with the city. I get all the permits. I work with Teddy Tomasoni, who's the president of the NEAA, who you met earlier. He is, not only the president of the board, but he's also the main fundraiser for the program. And so, we just all work together to put a great, fun, inexpensive program together for the kids in the North End. And we've also gone a little bit beyond that. We have kids from Charlestown who play. We have kids from East Boston, definitely downtown Crossing, the West End, Chinatown. We have a lot of kids from Chinatown because they don't really have any of their own fields, and a bunch of them come and play. And a lot of them too go to school at the Elliott School.
Yeah.
So they play with they want to play with their friends that they go to school with. So, we're welcoming to everybody.
Yeah, it was a great experience for me being a part of that community. And like you said, I met people that were outside of the North End as well. But it just feels like everyone's there having a good time. Like, it very much follows what we're trying to tell people about, supporting their young athletes in their relationship with the sport, not necessarily trying to find, a pipeline towards going a certain division or just simply enjoying the sport because they have access to it, whereas somewhere else they might not have access to it. But that leads me to my next question, which is obviously a lot of work comes, from you and the people working in the background to put all of these sports together each season. Why does that work matter to you?
When I was a little kid, guys like Teddy and some of the guys here at the parade today that come every year to support us, they were there for me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
They were the umpires, they were the coaches, the commissioners. And I just, had a sense of, giving back and keeping that going,
Yeah.
and it honestly, it really makes you feel good.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can, share the joy of seeing the little kids
Yeah.
and how happy they
Yeah.
are, right? When we're teaching them and
Yeah.
when they're out there playing and when they get their first uniform shirt or their first medal, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I just feel like a sense of, community, a sense of
sure.
ownership to make sure that that continues and continues at a high level,
Agree.
for the kids. I feel that youth sports is a very, very important part of, young people's lives.
Agree.
I feel that it teaches them, how to follow rules, right? It teaches them how to interact with other kids,
Yeah.
both their age and some a little bit older. Um, for instance, our little league is age 9 to 12. Not a lot of programs do that, but I feel it's almost like high school,
Yeah.
right? You come in as a freshman,
Uh-huh.
and you work you're kind of at the lower rungs of the school, and then you work your way up, and then when you're a senior, you're the most important person on campus, right?
The
Well, Little
seniority.
League is kind of the same way, and a lot of our programs, like the other thing is it's family.
Yeah.
It's more than just a baseball player on the field. The whole family gets involved, and those families stay together for 4 years,
Yeah.
and they form lifelong friendships,
Yeah.
lifelong bonds. Not just with just the players themselves, but the players with the coaches with the parents.
Yeah.
Right? We have grandparents that come down,
Oh yeah.
and so, um, you know, it's great to be able to talk to you about it because you witnessed it, as a first time
Yeah.
volunteer, right? You witnessed it in action,
Yeah.
and I feel like, it's tremendous.
It is.
It's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable feeling to watch it all happen, and also
Yeah.
know that I played on the same field,
Yeah.
the same coach. Some of the coaches are still around, involved in some way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
and we're an all volunteer organization.
Yes, yeah, and which is really impressive, and honestly, all the volunteer parents, most of them were parents that I met on the field were amazing people, and I see them on
Yeah,
the street of the North End, I'm like, "Hello." I actually went to a holiday party for one of the parents just last weekend because, you stay connected, the community keeps building, like you said, and it is an important part for, kids that are especially so young, and even that middle age if they might not have had access to, sports otherwise, so
that's
huge.
and it's, well, we have, as you said, we have a lot of parents that volunteer as coaches and
Mhm.
umpires and whatever, but we also have people that are not parents like yourself,
Yeah.
and that's, that good mix, that good
Mhm.
blend. We probably have, a dozen or so, maybe 15 volunteers, people that move into the neighborhood.
Yeah.
They might be walking by the park or jogging or whatever, and
Mhm.
they see it going on, and they're like, "Hey, I played that in college," or
Yeah.
whatever, right? And that's great.
Yeah.
It gives me great joy to see that
Yeah.
because it's really good to have the parents, right? But
Yeah.
it's good to have that mix of non as
Yeah.
well. And also many of the parents are doing it, you know, like I coached my son in soccer and I can only
Mhm.
coach the second grade because then they knew more than me because I wasn't a soccer player, right? But we get soccer
Yeah.
players and baseball players that played in high school or college and they
Mhm.
know, they know the sport well,
Yeah.
and they help. And um we in the NEA put sportsmanship,
Yeah.
um, exercise,
Mhm.
love for the game, learning the sport,
Mhm.
skills. We put that all above.
Yes.
You know, it's great to win. Everybody
Mhm.
wants to win. The kids to the littlest age, they know the score, even when we're not
They're
keeping
telling me.
score, right? But that's okay, But
Yeah.
it ain't always,
I agree.
and I think that's, one of the best parts of our program,
Mhm.
and it's one of many reasons why parents from other neighborhoods bring their kid to our program
Yeah.
because it's not kill or be killed.
Yes.
It's not win at all costs,
Mhm.
and that's not always the case everywhere. And those programs are good too.
Mhm.
I'm not saying anything bad about them, but that's not how we approach it.
Yeah.
When we get to the older levels, we have a 13 to 15 traveling baseball programs. Well, it's a little bit different at that age, right?
Yeah.
Some of those kids are already playing in high school, and they, you kind of need to win to keep playing.
Yep.
Our in-house programs are not built up.
Yes. And the important thing is that there's a program for everyone. Like you said,
Yes.
It's not better or worse. It's just that there's different programs for each athlete and what they might want out of the sport. Their parents might want them to get out of the sport.
Yeah. Nothing brings me more joy than to see a kid who moves on from our program and excels in school or in a club team or whatever, and comes back. I've had many parents come back and say, like, thanks for the training at the younger ages for our kids. If it wasn't for that, we'd never be able to, play at X, Y, and Z program.
Yes.
And that's fine. That's great. We love that.
Yeah.
And we encourage the kids to play like sports in high school and college. And, we try to take when we can, we'll get tickets to pro sporting events, college sporting events, and that's, Teddy works his magic and makes stuff like that happen. And because we feel it's important for them to see the highest levels of things too, not just the lowest level, and say, you can be that player out on the field if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's really important work that you guys do. Last question I have, what future aspirations do you or the team behind all of this work at the NEAA have for the future of the North End Athletic Association?
Well, we're all getting old, unfortunately. And, we're looking for that next generation of people to come in and work with us. I think as the new community center gets built right next to our fields,
looks awesome.
We're going to be able to incorporate, and we work hand in hand with Malo, the director here at the Nazaro Center, and we'll look forward to maybe expanding their role with us.
Yeah.
And, continuing our legacy through the next generation of people to keep the program.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. I tell this to people all the time. I have tons of helpers. Nobody wants to be in charge. And at some point,
it's a hard role.
That's a hard role. And we're going to need those people at some point to keep going.
Right.
So that's what we're that's in my mind constantly. As, Ralph Martinetti, who does baseball, we played together in Little League on that field when we were 9 years old. And, he's still there with me. And, we're looking for that next group.
Yeah.
The next people that are going to come. And we're in our early 60s, but, some of these guys are in their late 70s and they're still here. They're here for the Christmas parade.
Yes.
And they help, Teddy picks up the phone and he calls a troop of volunteers. And as you can see here today for the parade,
it's busy here. Yeah, if you guys are hearing this, it's because it's busy here and lively.
That's right. And I have to say, I'm grateful that my oldest son John has been helping. He loves it. He wants to be involved. Obviously he's busy with his life, but he's been working with me. That gives me great joy.
Yeah.
And my wife, Patricia, is the original director of the Nazaro Center.
Oh, awesome.
She's been involved since she was a teenager with youth programs and sports, and having her as my partner just makes it that much easier.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, she's a great inspiration for me to keep going because every time we think you don't want to do it no more, between the two of us, we say, if we don't do it,
who's going to do it? Right.
So if you're out there and you want to volunteer, you want to be involved, you want to be a coach like Valentina, we my number's all over the Regional Review, the Post Gazette, my email. Give me a call, give me an email, or say hi to Valentina and she'll hook you up with me, right?
You all, yes. But thank you for all of the work that you guys all do. Who knows, maybe your son will carry on your legacy as the person in charge. And we'll definitely need you guys to stay around for a while. Not yet retire from the work that you do, because we like this community and we like seeing you all here. But we appreciate all that you do for the North End community, for the youth sports community. It really is critical work, and it wouldn't be done if it wasn't for someone like you and Teddy and your wife and your son. So thank you, John.
That's great. We have a good team of volunteers. I'm just a guy that you see the face, right? But I wouldn't be able to do it without all the volunteers. If I could put in one little plug, We're looking for a 15 and under traveling baseball coach if anybody's interested.
Yes. Please reach out.
Please reach out to us. And I'd like to say, I'd love to be able to do this a couple of times during the season, and we can talk about, how things are going.
Yes. We'll definitely check in with you. We would love that too.
Perfect. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Christmas.
All right, everyone. We just wrapped up the interview and then the parade after. Both were great. John gave us some great insights into youth sports here in Boston and the impact it has on kids. And then doing the parade was awesome. We were both dressed up. I was Darth Vader. Seeing the smile on the kid's face was hilarious. Great day overall. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.